I want to start with a little question for you, something to think about.
It's a feeling that might pop up for just a second, but it leaves a little sting, doesn't it?
Well, let me tell you the story of a young boy named Arav. He learned this very lesson, and it changed his whole world.
So, our story begins in a small village with a bright, talented boy named Arav. He had this amazing chance to go to a good school in this city, but he was hiding something, a secret he was trying so hard to keep from his new friends.
You see, that secret? It was his father. Arav's life was full of new books and big dreams. His father's life, though, well, it was on the streets. He was a vendor, a simple man with old clothes and hands that were rough from working so hard. They were worlds apart.
Every single morning it was the same routine. His dad would ride his old, creaky bicycle to drop Arav off near the big school gates. It was a simple act of love, but for Arav, it was starting to feel like a heavy weight of shame.
And then, one day, it happened. The thing he was so scared of. A classmate pointed and whispered that question, "Is that your father?" And in that moment, Arav's whole face felt like it was on fire.
That night, he said it. The words came out quiet and cold. "Drop me far away from the gate from now on." And his father, he didn't argue. He just gave a soft, sad smile and nodded.
And just like that, a wall started to go up. A wall built out of shame, separating a boy from the father who loved him more than anything.
Arav really started to pull away. The happy chats at home just stopped. If he saw his father at the market, he'd quickly cross the street. And if anyone asked what his dad did, he'd lie. He'd say, "Oh, he works in business." Every lie was just another brick in that wall.
But here's the thing. While Arav was building this wall, his father was on the other side, quietly making sacrifices. He was working harder than ever, sometimes even skipping his own dinner, just to make sure Arav's school fees were paid. And Arav, he had no idea.
But things like this have a way of coming to light, don't they? A parent-teacher meeting was scheduled at school, and this meeting, well, it was going to be the turning point for everything.
Arav was so nervous walking into that classroom. But his teacher, she didn't talk about grades. She just looked at him with a warm smile and said something he never expected. She said, "Arav, you are very lucky."
Lucky? He was so confused. He looked around the room, and his eyes landed on someone standing quietly in the back. It was his father, looking tired and sweaty from work, in his usual faded shirt, holding that old bicycle key. But he was smiling. He had this big, proud smile on his face.
And then his teacher said the words that just shattered that wall of shame. She told him, "Your father came here early, just to talk to me. He is so, so proud of you. He even asked me how he can support your dreams better." In that one single moment, everything changed. It was like the shame just washed away. And for the very first time, Arav was really, truly seeing his father.
Later that day, Arav quietly followed his dad. He watched him lift those heavy baskets. He saw how some customers were so unkind. He saw how tired his father looked, but he also saw that he never, ever gave up.
That night, he couldn't hold it in anymore. He went to his father, and with a voice shaking, he finally said the words he needed to say. "Papa, I am sorry."
His father didn't get angry. He just looked at his son with so much love, and he put his rough hand on Arav's head. He said so gently, "My son, there is nothing to be ashamed of in honest work."
Arav just hugged his father as tightly as he could. And right there, in that hug, he didn't feel any shame. All he felt was pride. A real, deep pride for his dad.
And from that day on, everything was different. Arav had found a new kind of strength, a strength that came from love and knowing who he was and whose he was.
The very next morning, he didn't ask to be dropped off far away. No, he walked right beside his father, his head held high, all the way to the front gate of that big school.
And when his friends looked over, he didn't look away. He just smiled a big, real smile and said for everyone to hear, "This is my father." And you know what? That day, Arav stood taller than he ever had before.
It's a beautiful story, isn't it? And it reminds us of something so important. Never, ever be ashamed of your parents.
Their love and all the little things they do for us, that's priceless. We should always remember to respect them because they are our very first heroes.